Today, Thursday, the 6th of February 2025, we have some hand-picked match predictions to share with you, which of course will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to our hand-picked match prediction event, which we share to members only, as well as accessing our top-notch membership bet class tutorials to take your winning to the next height, then you want to make sure to subscribe to the Level 2 Pro membership package plan or the Level 3 master plan to have access to these features to take your winning to the next level. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video. You want to make sure that you navigate to that link, click and subscribe as a member to start to have access to all of these benefits. So without wasting time, I'll begin with the first event of our today's pick. But before we begin, I want to say congratulations based on yesterday's event, for we all registered wins, and I'll share with you the result before proceeding to today's event. So let's look at yesterday's result. So looking at yesterday's event, of course, we had a total of 6 games we share with you. All of them were successful, and congratulations. Of course, we'll share with you the result of what we had. And in the first, we looked at Malaysia in the Super League, where we looked at Johor Darul against PDRM, and we said that there was going to be the possibility of 1.5 and 2.5 goals, as well as the home team to lead. Both cases were true successful. In the next, we looked at India in the Super League, where we said that the home is going to lead, and we also looked at 1.5 or 2 goals over. Both of the cases were true, successful, and congratulations. In the next, we looked at Young Boys against Verdun. For this particular event, we looked at corner kick for Young Boys, and we said that Young Boys is going to have 3 corner kicks, 4 corner kicks as well, and even more. In this case, of course, Young Boys ended up having up to 8 corners, as you can see here, making it very, very successful. In the next, of course, we looked at in the Germany Cup, where we looked at Bayer Leverkusen against Köln. This game is still running, but of course, we looked at goals probability. It is already ending as it ended as 2-2, as you can see here. Now it is the extra time. They are having 3 against 2, but based on the normal full time, it is 2-2, making a total of 4 goals. Of course, successful, and congratulations. In the next, we looked at Celtic in the Scotland Premier League, where we said that Celtic will have corner kicks, and we looked at Celtic to have 3 corners, 4 corners, having even more. It ended up with 6 corners in full time. Very, very successful. So congratulations for Celtic corner kicks. And finally, we looked at Netherlands Cup, where we looked at GA Eagles against Norwich, and we said that the home team will lead. We also looked at 1.5 and 2 goals over. Both cases were true. The home lead by 3 against 1, and there were also the possibility of 2.5 goals in full time. Congratulations. And now let's proceed to the event of today. So now let's proceed to the event of today. But before we proceed, I have a quick announcement to make. If you come here to the front page of our channel titled as the home page, you're going to realize that we provide match predictions to members only. And if you want to have access to these features, you want to make sure to subscribe to the Level 2 Pro plan or the Level 3 Master plan to have access to our hand-picked match prediction event to take your winning to the next height. You can see members only video match prediction picks. Of course, to those of you who want to join, the link is below this video description. Not only are you going to have access to our hand-pick event, but you also have access to top-notch bet class tutorials. For example, if you are a member of the Level 2 Pro plan, you have access to the Level 2 Pro classes, which you are going to have access to our live game corner kick match prediction tutorials step by step. You also have access to our bet winning strategy, which we use to make consistent winning, as well as never seen match prediction strategy, which have been explained. Also, you have access to the comeback soccer match prediction strategy being explained that will amaze you, as well as never seen tactical straight win and over 2.5 goal strategy being explained. You also have access to the 99% win rate strategy, which we have explained to you as members. So you also have access not only to our handpick, but also top-notch tutorial classes like the Level 2 Pro classes if you become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan. But to those who are member of the Level 3 Master plan, of course, you have access to top-notch tutorials like the top secret AI tool we use to find games in terms of 1.5 and 2.5 goals, as well as straight wins, home and away. You also have access to the top-notch corner kick strategy and the top secret website, which we are going to reveal to you, and the technique to find corner kick events step by step. You also have access to the 6 amazing AI tools we use, home and away win match prediction strategy being explained step by step, and 2.5 goal strategy to beat the bookies and win even more using the strategy explained in these tutorials. And once you become a member, the link is below this video. You can go and start to watch all of these tutorial classes in one place. So the link is below this video. You can see that once you are a member, you also have access to our bet class tutorial, which we give to you as class tutorials to start taking your winning to the next height. Once you join, you're going to access the link below this video and watch all of these video tutorial which were prepared for you in just one place. So this is a package for you. You don't want to be excluded. You want to make sure to join and start to have access to this to take your winning to the next height. So without wasting time, let's now begin with the first match pick of our today's event. Looking at the first event here, we want to look in the Azerbaijan in the first Liga, a match between Difai Agsu against Gabala. The recent event of the home team have proved to be very weak in terms of defense, even though the offense also is great based on recent event they have had in the first Liga of Azerbaijan, of course scoring 3 goals in each event recently. Its opponent, Gabala, also on the other hand, proved to be offensive based on the recent event they have had, scoring 2 goals in each event as well. They are coming to meet this time for this particular tournament, and looking at the stand performance in terms of the form by the home and away, you're going to see that the home Difai Agsu proved to sit here in the 8th position with a defensive line that is not very tough, scoring 7 goals in 5 events. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, in terms of recent gameplay they have had, proved to be of very high offensive strength with a very great defense, scoring 10 goals in 4 events to show us that they have a good offense. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the away Gabala have proved to have a very great offense and defense. And since the defensive line of the home is not very tight, we want to look at Gabala to take advantage of that weak defense of the home to either lead this match in full time as one of the major picks. Also, of course, goals probability is the next option. So we want to look at least 1.5 goals to occur in this match in full time as the next possible pick. Looking at the next, we'll look at Lebanon in the Premier League. Ansar against Sahel. For this event, the recent performance of Ansar have proved to be very offensive in recent events they have just had, especially scoring 5, 3, and 4 events recently based on recent games they have had. Sahel, on the other hand, proved to concede based on recent events they have had, even though they strike also scoring 1 and 2 goals in each event recently. Looking at the stand performance comparison in terms of recent events they have had, the form Ansar have proved to be very great based on its home performance. And looking at this, they have had 12 goals scored in just 3 events to prove that the offensive strength is very high with a great defense, as of course you can see here. Looking here at its opponent, of course, on the other side, you're going to see the defensive line here, of course, proved to be of a weak lineup. And looking here at everything in place, of course, we looked at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, Ansar have proved to have a very great offense and great strength in terms of defense. Its opponent, on the other hand, defensive line is not very great. And of course, we looked at Ansar to take the upper hand in this particular event. And the fact that the defensive line of the away is not very tight, we look at goals probability here. At least 1.5 going full time for Ansar to have the lead of this game. So these are the 2 major picks we looked at for this event. Ansar to lead as 1 pick. Second, at least 1.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next here, we looked at Saudi Arabia in the Saudi Professional League. We are looking at Qadisiya playing against Raed. For this event, the performance of the home recently have proved to have a good offensive strength, having a lead against Al Hilal. Of course, the performance rating have been good recently, scoring 2, 1, and 2 events recently. Raed, on the other hand, proved to have a very weak defensive line, and the strength performance in terms of defense is not very tight based on the rating of recent performance. Looking at the stands, of course, Qadisiya, in terms of form in the recent game they've had based on the home performance, have proved to have a better offensive rate as compared to that of the opponent, scoring 7 goals in 5 games played and conceding 5. But that of its opponent, Raed, on the other hand, proved that the defensive line, of course, is very weak, conceding even more goals, 15 goals in just 5 events. And looking at everything in place, we'll look at 2 to 3 major picks here in full time. For this event, of course, the home performance have proved to be of average, better as compared to the offense of the away. And since the defensive line of the away proved to be very slackened, that is weak in terms of the defensive line, we look at the home with an average offense to take this advantage, causing goals probability. And since the away also want to impress, since its recent performance has not been great, there might be the clash of shoot on and off target on both sides. Therefore, goals is what we want to look at as the best occurrence here. At least 1.5 goal in full time as the major pick for this event. In the next, we looked at Netherlands Cup Alkmaar with Quick Boys. The recent performance of Alkmaar recently have proved to be offensive in the recent game they have had, especially in the Cup and also in the Eredivisie. Its opponent Quick Boys, on the other hand, is from a lesser league in the Tweede division, which is a very weak in terms of the strength comparison of Alkmaar, which is of course from the Eredivisie of Netherlands. These two are coming to meet, and looking at the recent performance of the home team from the Eredivisie, especially in the EL, which is the Europa League, they have proved to be better in terms of recent gameplay they have had, comparing to Quick Boys, which have had events in the Tweede Divisie. And looking at this, we look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, the home team, of course, is from a better league, comparing to the away team from the Tweede Divisie. And since the home proved to have a better recent play in terms of its offensive power from a higher league, we look at it to take the upper hand against Tweede match, that is game from the Tweede. So we look at the home to take this advantage, meeting a lesser, that is a weaker team, to either lead in full time as one of the major pick. But of course, we also want to look at goals probability, since its opponent, on the other hand, we also want to impress for this particular cup gameplay. So we want to look at goals probability, at least 1.5 goal in full time as the major pick, and 2.5 goals as well in full time. These are our major pick for this particular event. 1.5 goal in full time. 2 goals over, or 2.5 goals in full time. In the next, we looked at England in the EFC Cup. This is a semi-final. We are looking at Liverpool against Tottenham. The recent game played of Liverpool recently on the recent match they've had, especially in the Premier League, have proved to be great. Especially they have games against Tottenham, and also that is against Tottenham. As you can see, that is especially that for the home Liverpool. It has a very great offensive strength. They've had games against Ipswich in the Premier League, 4-1, against Lille that is in the Champions League. They perform also very great, and also in the recent cup they have had, the performance have been very great. Also, its opponent, on the other hand, is also a very great offensive team, scoring more probability of goals in recent event they have had. Both of the two sides have shown improved performance, and this is the second leg they are coming to meet. In the first leg, it resulted as 0-1 with Tottenham leading. Of course, this time Liverpool is coming home, and with a great strength performance in recent game played at home, coming to meet the away. Of course, they want to impress this time. As a result, we look at 2 to 3 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, both of the two sides have proved to be of great offense in terms of recent game they have had. And since the defensive line of both sides is not very tight, and the performance of both sides in terms of goal scoring for the home and the away have proved to be great, and the first leg resulted to 1-0, Tottenham leading. This time, the home also want to impress, to take that revenge as well, to try every possibility for a greater strike back. And since they'll try every possibility for a greater strike back, the away Tottenham also try every means to score goals as well. As a result, goals probability is the best option for this event. So look at 1.5 goal in full time as one of the major pick. We also want to look at the possibility of 2 goals over as the next pick for this particular event. These are our 2 picks for this event. 1.5 goal in full time. 2 goals over. In the next event, we looked at Spain Cup, of course, Valencia against Barcelona. In this event, the recent performance of Valencia recently have proved to have better, that is good offense, scoring at least 2 and 1 goal in recent game they have had. Its opponent, on the other hand, also proved to be of a great offensive strength, scoring a large number of goals, especially they recently had a game in the Champions League against Benfica, where the striking power and it was very high and impressive. This time, these two are coming to meet, and the fact that Barcelona just recently had games in the Champions League, and also recent games they have had in the SC, that is in the Super Cup of Spain, have proved to be very offensive in terms of goal scoring. This time they're coming to meet Valencia, that of course have mostly had event recently in the La Liga. So we are looking at 2 major picks in full time. In this quarterfinal, of course, Barcelona will try every possibility to do it best. As a result, goals occurrence will be flown here. As since the home also want to impress, the fact that it is this quarterfinal cup coming to meet for these two, the home also want to impress. And since both sides want to impress, in terms of the game played for this tournament, of course, it will cause more shoot on and off target, resulting to, of course, goals probability. So look at 1.5 goal in full time as one of the major pick. We also want to look at 2 goals over as well as 2.5 goals to occur in this match in full time. These are our major pick for this particular event. And to those of you who want to have access to our handpicked events, which we share to members only, especially for this upcoming weekend games for this weekend upcoming event, to have access to our handpicked events in terms of corner kicks and goals probability, then of course you want to make sure to subscribe to the level 2 pro plan or the level 3 master plan to have access to these features to take your winning to the next height. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video. You want to navigate to that, click and join to become a member of other level 2 pro plan to have access to these features. You are not only going to have access to our handpicked event, but you also have access to our top-notch bet class tutorials to take your winning to the next level. Good luck and see you again from the next upload, and bye-bye for now.